The Philadelphia Eagles defense was something in 2022. They put pressure on opposing quarterbacks and covered their receivers tightly. They kicked butt all the way to the Super Bowl, where they gave Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes a little trouble. The Raiders need to give Mahomes trouble, and the Eagles defense will have a lot of players hitting free agency. As of right now, their plan is to franchise tag safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson. That gives the Silver and Black an opportunity to really raid that Eagles defense. All the Raiders need are 3 players, one on each level of that defense. That could turn the Raider defense around right away. They're not that far off. Then they can draft the quarterback or whatever else they want. The Raiders really weren't that bad on defense when healthy last year. It didn't start out so pretty for them, as they gave up 25.1 points per game from weeks 1 through 9. Then from weeks 9 through 16, they got much better, giving up only 20.5 points per game. Then the last 2 weeks of the season, they couldn't find enough healthy linebackers to put out there, and undrafted free agents Luke Masterson and Darian Butler had to start for the Raiders. Then they proceeded to give up 169 yards per game rushing and 34 points per game the last 2 weeks. Mike linebacker Denzel Perryman, Will and backup Mike linebacker Divine Diablo, and Will linebacker Jayon Brown were out with injuries. Diablo is the only one still under contract, and from what I'm hearing, the Raiders are negotiating to bring Perryman back before free agency starts. That leaves the Raiders needing a will linebacker, and Kaiser White is going to hit the free agent market. He's good against the run and in coverage, so the Raiders will be able to stay in man coverage like they want to and not get abused by the opposing running backs and tight ends. We just have to see what the price is here. The move I would most want to see is for interior defensive lineman Javon Hargrave. To win in the NFL, you got to win in the trenches, right? Like all of you, I want to see the Raiders get Daron Payne, but the Washington Commanders ain't stupid. They're going to franchise tag him. The Raiders really like Jerry Tillery, so they'll probably bring him back. But wouldn't that be something if they had Hargrave to go along with them? Who are you going to double? Tillery would feast on that one-on-one blocking inside, and we already know what Hargrave does. With that one-step quickness, he just had a career year with 66 pressures, 48 quarterback hits, and 11.5 sacks. I don't care what he does when the base package is out there, as long as he's out there when it's time to rush the passer. Of course, Max Crosby's going to eat, and when you have Hargrave out there inside with Tillery, there's going to be plenty of pressure in the quarterback's face. The quarterback won't have anywhere to go when the rush comes from outside, too. Chandler Jones benefited from adding Tillery, so he should benefit from adding Hargrave, too. He's not leaving $17 million on the table. In 2021, James Bradberry was a zone corner. In man coverage, he gave up catches on 68% of his targets. He also gave up 3 touchdowns and a pass rating of 127.2 while he had 1 pass breakup and 1 interception. In zone, he gave up catches on 64.8 of his targets for 2 touchdowns. His passer rating when targeted was 76.5. He also had 11 pass breakups and 3 interceptions in zone. In 2022, in man coverage, he gave up catches 35% of the time he was targeted and a passer rating of 46.9. He had 3 pass breakups and didn't give up a touchdown in man or zone. Also in zone, he gave up catches on 55.1% of his targets and a passer rating of 41.7. He had 6 pass breakups and 4 interceptions too. Opposing quarterbacks didn't have too much success throwing his way regardless of coverage in 2022. So what happened? Did he simply work hard and get better, or was it the fact that Bradberry was the number 2 corner since Darius Slay is in Philly? Is it worth finding out at his asking price? The Eagles had an overabundance of talent on that defense last year. So since the NFL plays with the salary cap, they're going to have to let some of that talent go this offseason. All this while the Raiders have the 3rd most cap space in the NFL. So should they raid the Eagles defense? Would you want a will linebacker like White that can cover one-on-one? Would you want an interior defensive lineman like Hargrave that can get after the quarterback? How about a corner like Bradberry? You do know he was 2nd team All-Pro, don't you? But at the same time, he was covering number 2 receivers this year, and he's going to cost a lot. Thank you for watching. See you next time.